This is the little park near the railroad station. Not as well maintained as Beijing, but then again it's not the point city for tourism that Beijing is. In fact, I think this city has suffered far less tourism than it anticipated. But this is a very pretty little pond or lake area with 3 of these lovely typical Chinese bridges. And there in a lovely early morning setting. And there, a 4th bridge. And a pretty little building. There it looks like there are a couple of stork figures underneath the bridge, and an elderly lady getting in her morning exercise. Lonely Planet actually made me some money this morning, some kudos, by advising me to go left and find this archway here through the Great Wall and down to the beach for free, avoiding the 60 RMB or $10 fee for going to see the Dragon's Head, which is down there. So here at this spot, there's a tourist place, of course. Here's a horse in pretty dang good condition, actually. And so they rent horses, and there's also a dromedary there, or a camel, whatever you call it. So on the assumption that nothing obstructs me, I'll go walk along the wall, along the beach. I had a warm and fuzzy experience this morning. I stopped to ask a man who was driving a nice car, just getting into it, for directions here, and showed him where I was going, and he gave me directions as much as he could. And I started walking, and a few minutes later he pulled up alongside and motioned me to get in, which I did. And he then started driving in the right direction, then all of a sudden made a right turn going in the wrong direction. And I thought that was kind of strange until he made a 180 or 360 until he made a U-turn and under an underpass, and then drove me all the, which I would have missed, and drove me all the way to the Dragon's Head, for which I profusely thanked him in the only ways that I could. So there's the Dragon's Head. That was, although not in that condition, since all of this has been rebuilt apparently, was the Dragon's Head, and named such because it was the front end, in other words the beginning of the Great Wall system, that part which touched the sea. Now there's another part north here in another province that also touches the sea, but apparently this was the first and the most significant, and been turned into very much a tourist place, of course, and it will make for a different and lovely walk along the ocean. Having slipped under the fence where that older gentleman there in the white shirt went, have this little bit better view, but not much to be gained from being here. I hear explosions off in that direction. Maybe there's a military base. I don't know if that's where the wall originally was. I assume any restoration was done on the site of the original wall, and perhaps even the foundation stones of it. I'll go around that corner and back to where I started, and back to the Great Wall, Shanhaiguan3. There's a fascination with that cavity in there. Where I want bus number 25. This would cost me 1 yuan versus the 20 that they wanted to charge me by taxi. This is one of the stalls in a public toilet in the east gate of Shanhaiguan3 town. So this is for the public, and it costs half a yuan, which is a sixth of $1, and pretty nice by standards I've seen the last 2 days. This is gorgeous, and there's continuous flow of water on the bottom of that trench. So this is going to be pretty much a tourist day. This is the Wang Klang's ancient Shanhaiguan traditional area. If they charge me, I won't go because I've been to lots of hutongs, and this is, by the guidebook, is pretty ho-hum. This is the first pass or gate that you can climb up on. From the right, there's a slope up to it. And then I hope to go north on the wall and find the part that's been unrestored. And apparently, believe it or not, these are mechanical animals that are hauling these little rickshaws around. Walt Disney, where were you when they came up with this idea? I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because it's all a reconstruct. I want to get to the part that's unrestored. This may be an enciente, E-N-C-I-E-N-T-E, which all of the gates had, but I'm not quite sure. I think it's supposed to be circular. I know there's one for the east and the west gate, so reserve judgment. This is the original bell or drum tower in the center of, it's not the original, it's the one that was rebuilt, but it's at the center of the community, so I'm guessing that I need to walk down here to like get a left angled turn. Takes me down to halfway to where I was when I went outside the north gate last night, and then that should be the beginning of the wall going north. I hope this is not the end. If it is, it's phonier than I thought, and much lousy experience. First of all, I doubt they'd ever built the wall this wide for 15 horses. Plus I can't see how to get out of here to go north. The only marginal benefit of being on this wall is you can look down into some of the other hutongs, but that's a marginal benefit, not much to see when you do look down. Most of these hutongs, the old ones, the ones that are apparently unfinished, although the brickwork looks relatively new, are really just dumps in the backyard. There's nothing gracious about what I imagined, or like I imagined. This looks authentically interesting, someone having planted a little garden here. It almost looks like that hutong section is closed here. I have no idea what those areas are for there.